Um, a last point, I just think, and this is just from practical experience, and I think Randy and Bob and others in the audience who've been in government would agree with me. Um, there's a challenge, I think, turning common interests into complementary policies. Just having common interests is not the end of the story, it's the beginning of the story. And in fact, for the United States and China, who do have some common interests around the world and in Asia and on security and on economics, the problem has been that to turn common interests into complementary policy, you have to overcome a series of other problems that have proved to be very difficult. Things like making sure that you have shared threat assessments about the scope and urgency of the threat that you face, dealing with countervailing interests that obstruct cooperation, even on issues where you share interests. I'll give you an example to make that real. Afghanistan. When I was Deputy Assistant Secretary for State for Central Asia, we had a base in Kyrgyzstan in Central Asia that was there principally to be a mobility and logistics platform to fight the war. And the United States and China certainly share an interest in a stable Afghan state that does not harbor or export terror. But if the route from point A to shared objective at point P means you have to get through B, C, D, E, F, G, that includes things like a NATO military presence on China's western periphery, NATO operations, US military operations, potentially more long-term access arrangements, that introduces a set of countervailing interests that make things harder. Likewise, North Korea. The United States and China, absolutely. Do they share an interest in denuclearization and stability? Sure. But the fact is China values stability more than denuclearization, and the United States values denuclearization more than stability. And so from my standpoint, that means that the United States is much more risk tolerant when it comes to denuclearization steps and measures that might risk stability in the North Pacific.